Are you ready to find peace in your heart? Of course you do. I'm Coach EaZy, and welcome to the 'Cause It's EaZy show. As an empowered empath, empowering mindsets, and confidence through adversity, I will help you connect and conquer. Listen in as we talk real about serious concerns in the world and learn how by working together we can make life amazing. You are the ultimate number one in your life, and that's why you can be whoever you want and do whatever you want without worrying what anyone else thinks. Why? Because it's easy with me, Coach EaZy. I believe there is a path to an easier way, and having hello, this is Coach EaZy. Welcome to the 'Cause It's EaZy show. I just want to thank Transformation Talk Radio, and I'm glad to have you here if you're with me. Today we're talking about empaths versus narcissists, and empathy over sympathy. I don't think, and I bring this up because me and my daughter had a discussion about it. I told her she needed a little bit more empathy. I don't know how many people know exactly the meaning of both. But I wanted to first start with a prayer, if I could. So thank you, Lord, for the opportunity to participate in your plan within sharing my story, or speaking on stage, or sharing music, or just helping someone be hearing their concerns and their need for a little help. I pray that you break our works of love. May they bless and bring confidence and peace in God and good health to all our tribe. Amen. Okay, so let's back. With empathy, I want to play a little clip. I'm going to break away to this little clip and just tell me if you see the difference.
So I thought I would do something a little different today. You know, when you're speaking to tens of thousands of people and you have the opportunity to share a message, of course, most rational people would say, let's go with something I've talked about lots of times and I'm really good at, but I'm not normal, so I'm going to do something completely new, and I hope this works out. There are two things that I think that great leaders need to have: empathy and perspective. And I think these things are very often forgotten. Leaders are so often so concerned about their status or their position in an organization, they actually forget their real job. And the real job of a leader is not about being in charge, it's about taking care of those in our charge. And I don't think people realize this, and I don't think people train for this. When we're junior, our only responsibility is to be good at our jobs. That's all we really have to do. And some people actually go get advanced educations so that they can be really good at their jobs, accountants or whatever, right? And you show up and you work hard, and the company will give us tons and tons of training how to do our jobs. They'll show us how to use the software. They'll send us away for a few days to get trained in whatever it is that we're doing for the company. And then they expect us to go be good at our jobs. And that's what we do. We work very hard. And if you're good at your job, they'll promote you. And at some point, you'll get promoted to a position where we're now responsible for the people who do the job we used to do, but nobody shows us how to do that. And that's why we get managers and not leaders. Because the reason our managers are micromanaging us is because they actually do know how to do the job better than us. That's what got them promoted. Really what we have to do is go through a transition. Some people make it quickly, some people make it slowly, and unfortunately some people will never make that transition at all. Which is we have to go through this transition of being responsible for the job and then turning into somebody who's now responsible for the people who are responsible for the job. And as I said before, one of the great things that is lacking in most of our companies is that they are not teaching us how to lead. And leadership is a skill like any other. It is a practicable, learnable skill, and it is something that you work on. It's like a muscle. If you practice it all the days, you will get good at it and you will become a strong leader. If you stop practicing, you will become a weak leader. Like parenting, everyone has the capacity to be a parent. Doesn't mean everybody wants to be a parent, and doesn't mean everybody should be a parent. Leadership is the same. We all have the capacity to be a leader. Doesn't mean everybody should be a leader, and it doesn't mean everybody wants to be a leader. And the reason is because it comes at great personal sacrifice. Remember, you're not in charge, you're responsible for those in your charge. That means things like when everything goes right, you have to give away all the credit. And when everything goes wrong, you have to take all the responsibility. That sucks, right? It's things like staying late to show somebody what to do. It's things like when something does actually break, when something goes wrong, instead of yelling and screaming and taking over, you say, try again. When the overwhelming pressures are not on them, the overwhelming pressures are on us. At the end of the day, great leaders are not responsible for the job. They're responsible for the people who are responsible for the job. They're not even responsible for the results. I love talking to CEOs and say, what's your priority? And they put their hands on their hips all proudly and say, my priority is my customer. I'm like, really? You haven't talked to a customer in 15 years. There's no CEO on the planet responsible for the customer. They're just not. They're responsible for the people who are responsible for the people who are responsible for the customer. So we in leadership are always criticizing the people. We're always saying, we've got to get the right people on the bus. I've got to fill my team. I've got to get the right people. But the reality is, it's not the people. It's the leadership. If we create the right environment, we will get people like Noah at the Four Seasons. If we create the wrong environment, we will get people like Noah at Caesar's palace. It's not the people. And yet we're so quick to hire and fire. You can't hire and fire your children. If your kids are struggling, we don't say, you got to see at school, you're up for adoption. So why is it that when somebody has performance problems at work, why is it that our instinct is to say, you're out? We do not practice empathy. What does empathy look like? Here's the lack of empathy. This is normal in our business world. You walk into someone's office, someone walks into our office and says, your numbers have been down for the third quarter in a row. You have to pick up your numbers, otherwise I can't guarantee what the future will look like. How inspired do you think that person is to come to work the next day? Here's what empathy looks like. You walk into someone's office, someone walks into your office and says, your numbers are down for the third quarter in a row. Are you okay? I'm worried about you. What's going on? We all have performance issues. Maybe someone's kid is sick. Maybe they're having problems in their marriage. Maybe one of their parents is dying. We don't know what's going on in their lives. And of course it will affect performance at work. Empathy is being concerned about the human being, not just their output. We have, for some reason, our work world has changed over the past 20 and 30 years. We are suffering the side effects of business theories left over from the 80s and 90s. And they are bad for people, and they are bad for business.
So, you get the picture of that, hopefully. So there's a difference between that and sympathy. You probably agree. Sympathy is more of a, you feel pity for somebody. Compared to empathy, you literally feel their pain. You know what it's, you can almost put yourself in their shoes. So here's some examples. Qualities of an empath. Basically, they like to fix other people's issues. You know, lack of personal boundaries. We tend to let people kind of walk all over us. We're classified as too nice. Have lots of friends and social connections. Naturally, we're generous. Have lots of friends. And that's where you have to try to, because it's a gift, I think, being an empath is part of that, having empathy. And so if any of you have ever witnessed it, you've experienced narcissists. Narcissists prey on empaths because empaths they're so giving and so nice. But there's also a downside sometimes because empaths can sometimes use the narcissist's abilities on other people because they have had it happen to them so much. You get the gist of that. Sympathy is pity. Empathy, you deeply care because you feel their pain. So I found out, because narcissists, I remember So narcissists are good at turning it around on somebody that's an empath, making them feel like they did it. They were wrong about something. And that's where you have to empower yourself. This is part of the lesson. I'm breaking down the shy, empathetic, person that lets people walk all over them in my journey to get you to be empowered and stronger. You have to see why you're easy to be quiet and not, let your voice be heard or your actions be taken. Because you're afraid of failure, you're afraid of somebody condemning you, you're afraid of somebody maybe belittling you, maybe somebody making fun of you. You have to understand that. Who cares? Who cares? You're you. You're just you're as big a deal as anybody else. You can't let people make you feel that way. But narcissists are good at doing that. A lot of people that are quiet, maybe reserved, a lot of times they are empaths, but you won't get the medical association to determine you're an empath. They call it's some type of anxiety. But I've done my studies. So what for me, I've had that issue. What I did is I empowered myself. Get to know yourself, realize what a good person you are and how giving you are. Once you love yourself, all bets are off. You have control by then. You just have to be in control of your own self and know who you are. And then nobody cares what anybody else thinks. Obviously, we care a little bit. Everybody wants people to like them, but not to the point to where it keeps you from having fun or enjoying life or going and getting what you want. If you want something, you should be able to go have it. You shouldn't be held back by narcissists or you're concerned with people thinking there's something wrong with you and there's not. It's all up here. It's mindset. I've been there. All right. We'll be right back. A couple minutes, give you a little bit to think on, and then we'll be back. We'll talk some more about it. If you have any questions, love to hear them. So we've got a few minutes here. I know it goes quick. My shows are so exciting; they just go real quick. I'm just kidding. I apologize. The video didn't show. We're gonna get it fixed. We're gonna get it fixed though. So, in a short nutshell, I hope people understand what an empath is or what empathy is. Empathy is important. I think it's one of the most important characteristics we can have for other humans. I mean, it can be the difference between, honestly, even maybe somebody, you hate to bring it up, but somebody maybe taking their life because nobody cared or nobody seen how they were feeling. You know what I mean? Sometimes that happens. Sympathy, nobody needs to be pitied. Sometimes we just need someone to care, right? So take that for what it's worth. And next week, I might talk about this. Well, we're going to just look it up. Spiritual awakening. A lot of people are going through that right now. That has a little bit of similarities with being an empath. You guys, we feel things and we're coming into a new world. I mean, we're coming into a new reality. And I suggest you look it up. If I had more time, I'd share a whole bunch of stuff about that. But there's people that are smarter than me than that. But I know some things. So if you have any questions, you know my website. You can see me at Cause-it's-EaZy.com. And check me out. And you'll see me on my social media, guys. Anybody that's watching, Cause-it's-EaZy.com. Facebook, just look up Coach EaZy and I'm there. And be happy to talk to you guys more about anything you want. You can always add a free consultation on my website any chance you want. And let's everybody become better. We're all going to be better from this spiritual awakening. It's fun stuff. No more sympathy. Find some empathy. I just want to make sure there wasn't something I could really give you to think about right now. Narcissists, they know good. Don't let them control you. You have to have control and power of your own self. And don't let the narcissist affect you, because they prey on empaths. Here's some nice things for narcissists. Overinflated sense of self-importance, belief that they're exceptional, the inability to celebrate the accomplishment of others, the tendency to think they're misunderstood. And it can be assholes. So with that, we're going to wrap it up. And I hope to hear from you guys, and we'll see you guys soon. I'm sure you'll see me. Go visit my website. There's going to be a lot more stuff to see on there. You guys are going to like it. There's a whole bunch of stuff I'm going to be bringing up. There's going to be videos and stuff of all the spiritual awakening things that we're witnessing right now that a lot of us are going through. And I'm going to try to I have this person I'd like to have come on here, discuss some more of that, people that want to know more about that. But it's a real thing. It's a real thing. I hope that you guys enjoyed the show. I'm going to leave on this.
Coping mechanisms. Now, one of the ways that we cope when children are traumatized, one of the ways they cope with it is to soothe themselves, and then that's where addictions come in. But another way to cope would be is if you get the message that you're not good enough, that you are not worthy enough, then you might spend the rest of your life trying to prove that you are. And how do you do that? By being very nice to everybody. By never saying how you feel, because they might not like how you feel. By never expressing healthy anger when somebody's crossing your boundaries. By working too hard to prove that you're worthwhile. That's why I was a workaholic doctor, because I got the message as an infant, as a Jewish infant under the Nazis in the Second World War. I got the message that the world didn't want me, I wasn't good enough. Well, then you spend the rest of your life compensating by taking on too much, and you're stressing yourself. And those stresses have an impact on your physiology. They have an impact on your immune system. They have an impact on your cardiovascular system, on your heart, on your nervous system. They can cause disease. So most diseases that most of my colleagues, the physicians, think they're just random, arbitrary diseases, they're not random or arbitrary at all. They're the result of life-strong stresses that result from a child's attempt to compensate.
You have been listening to the 'Cause It's EaZy Show with me, Coach EaZy. Empowered empath, empowering mindsets, and building confidence through adversities. Tune in every Tuesday at 3:30 Pacific, 5:30 Central Time on TransformationTalkRadio.com, where I, Coach EaZy, will show you the easy way to make your life simple, abundant, and amazing. No matter what you have experienced in your life, you can feel positive, confident, learn to laugh, and have fun again. For more information on the 'Cause It's EaZy approach, visit CuzIt'sEaZy.com. 'Cause, C-U-Z, it's easy, EAZY.com.